Today I'll talk about atoms' social life. There are on average 7 billion atoms in our body. Even though they never touch, they still interact with each other, so they have a social life just like we do. Atoms form different relationships with each other just like us. Let's see what are these interactions. But first of all, I must say something. It's a fact that to understand biology better, you need just a little bit of chemistry knowledge. But don't panic. This is a very short review. I'm not going too deep on this topic. I'll try to explain it in a fun way. Plus, you don't need to be a chemistry genius to understand this. To understand the social life of an atom, you have to be clear of these 4 basic concepts. First, what is a molecule? Secondly, what is electronegativity and the electronegativity difference? Thirdly, what is an intramolecular bond? And lastly, what is an intermolecular interaction? A molecule is just a group of atoms held together by chemical bonds. Let's take water for example. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen. 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen grouped together through chemical bonds to form one molecule of water. And millions of these molecules interact together to form, water. So, intramolecular interactions are bonds between atoms inside the molecule, and intermolecular bonds are interactions in between molecules. And lastly, what is electronegativity? Electronegativity is a measure of the tendency of an atom to attract a bonding pairs of electrons, which are negative particles, hence the name. So, if we compare electronegativity with a magnet, its value would tell us how much is the force by which the electron is attracted toward the atom. Each atom has a different value of electronegativity, which can be found written in the periodic table. But what is electronegativity difference? It is the difference of electronegativity between 2 atoms in a bond. Let's talk about intramolecular forces. There are 4 main types, but before I reveal them, I have to tell that the type of atomic bond between 2 atoms depends on the difference of electronegativity between these 2 atoms. The difference of electronegativity of 1.7 is a special value, but how to remember it? From the word atomic bond. The word atomic starts with A, which is the first letter of alphabet, and the word bond reminds me of James Bond or the 007 agent. So the second value is 7. But why on earth do we need this value? Let's take a bond between 2 atoms. If the difference of electronegativity is far less than 1.7, if the difference of electronegativity is far less than 1.7, then we have a nonpolar covalent bond. If the value is around 1.7, then we have a polar covalent bond. And if the value is far more than 1.7, then we have an ionic bond. So now let's discuss intramolecular bonds one by one. First is the nonpolar covalent bonds. What is a covalent bond? A covalent bond is formed when the atoms of a molecule share electrons. So, what is a nonpolar covalent bond? Is a bond between nonmetals where the difference of electronegativity is between 0 and 0.4. So, the bonding electrons will remain at the center of the chemical bond. Secondly, the electrons are shared equally. Thirdly, there is no charge separation or dipole moment. Since there is no charge separation, this molecule cannot enter into a charge interaction with water and will therefore be hydrophobic, so they don't mix with water. The second type of bond is the polar covalent bond. Is a bond between nonmetals where the difference in electronegativity is around 1.7. So generally speaking, is more than 0.4 and less than 1.7. Secondly, there is an unequal share of electrons toward the most electronegative element. Thirdly, there is partial charge or dipole moment formation. We use the letter delta to tell that they are partially positive or partially negative. And finally, since these are charged molecules, they can interact with water, making them hydrophilic, or having a tendency to mix with, dissolve in, or be wetted by water. A special type of polar covalent bond is the bond between hydrogen and fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen, but I will tell you in a few minutes the reasons why. Thirdly, we have the ionic bond. An ionic bond is formed between metals and nonmetals where the difference in electronegativity is greater than 1.7. For example, between chlorine and sodium. Since the non-metal is much more electronegative than the metal atom, he abducts the valence electrons from the metal, and the metal is not strong enough to oppose. The metal loses electrons to become a positively charged cation, whereas the non-metal accepts those electrons to become a negatively charged anion, and we know that the opposite attracts just like the opposite poles of a magnet, forming a very strong connection between each other. The ionic compound can be broken down by hydrolysis or by adding water, so they are hydrophilic. The fourth type of bond is a metallic bond, which forms between two metals, but since these are not very important in biochemistry, I will not go into further details. So, if you are a visual learner, here is a good mnemonic for you. Imagine the covalent bond as a cooperation relationship between two humans, like a business agreement, for example. Since it is an agreement, it happens between two humans. It can't happen, for example, between a human or a donkey, or between a human and a llama. And these two humans can be of equal status or of different status. As about ionic bonds, think of an ironic love bond. Now let's think of a couple which are completely different to each other, but still are strongly attracted to each other and love each other too much. I chose this ironic bond. The opposites attract not only in chemistry but also in love. Now we know how to determine if connection between atoms is polar or non-polar, but what about molecules? Molecules are divided into polar, in which the bond dipoles present do not cancel each other out and thus result in a molecular dipole, so this molecule is charged, either positive or negative. But if a molecule has no dipole or charge, it is called non-polar. Cancellation depends on the shape of the molecule and the orientation of the polar bond. Let's see some examples of non-polar molecules with biological importance. First, we have molecules made of one element, for a reason you already know. Secondly, all the carbon-hydrogen elements or hydrocarbons are nonpolar. And molecules that have symmetry are nonpolar, like carbon dioxide, for example. It has two identical polar covalent bonds between carbon and oxygen, but which cancel each other out. Let's now see some examples of polar molecules with biological importance. First, molecules in which hydrogen forms bond with fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. Molecules that contain a hydroxyl group like alcohols or an amine group. Compounds that contain carbonyl group like carboxylic acid, aldehydes or ketones. Molecules which do not have symmetry like H2O, where the polar bonds don't cancel each other out. Finally, we have the intermolecular forces. I will give you the 4 types of intermolecular forces. Let's now discuss them one by one. First, we have the weak London dispersed forces, which occur when two nonpolar compounds come close together, inducing the formation of temporary dipoles. But I'm not going into further details, since it would be too much chemistry. Secondly, we have the dipole-dipole attraction between dipoles created by partially charged ions in polar covalent compounds. Thirdly, we have the hydrogen bond. A hydrogen bond is the electrostatic attraction between two polar groups that occurs when a hydrogen atom covalently bound to a highly electronegative atom such as fluorine, oxygen or nitrogen experiences the electrostatic field of another highly electronegative atom nearby. Besides being found in water, it also connects the two strands of DNA which carry out our genetic material, but we will see these things later in details. And finally, we have the ion-to-ion attraction, where the oppositely charged ions are arranged in a regular way to form a giant ionic lattice, like in salt, for example. If you really liked these videos, you can subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media.